Hey everybody, my name is Golden Boy, and this is the return of the Golden Nugget. That's right, folks. I decided to bring this bad boy back after a long hiatus. Now, you may notice that the background is going to be a little different here. I've recently fallen in love with my green screen. It's probably the easiest thing for me to light up in my office. It's absurd. I don't know how. I don't know how I've been blessed with this, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you like the green screen or not? My background's not that pretty, but I happen to enjoy it. So anyway, moving on. This week in esports was ridiculous. Seriously, let's take a moment here to think about how insane it is that in North America, we have count them, three champions. First, in Overwatch, Envy defeated Africa Blue in the grand finals of OGN Apex, which, by the way, was expertly casted by one Doa and Monte Cristo. Huge shout out to those guys. Looking forward to seeing them in Vegas. It was a great final. I think a lot of people had Envy coming out on top, given that Africa Blue was probably the weaker of the Korean teams. Most analysts are saying that they were about the 5th weakest team of all the Korean squads. So it makes a lot of sense that this was kind of a stomp. Of course, huge congratulations to Envy. This is a squad that's been very deserving of a championship, and I'm glad they finally got theirs. So shout out to them, and I'm looking forward to seeing them at MLG Vegas. Then, of course, in Street Fighter V, some of the most ridiculous matches I think I've ever seen in a game. I mean, really, like, this stuff was awesome, but it all came down to two, and those two people were North American Street Fighter players. Of course, you talk about Ricky Ortiz representing Evil Geniuses and NuckleDu representing Team Liquid. This was huge. This was monumental. The first time for Capcom Cup, you had two North American players in the finals. No Japanese players anywhere, no Korean players, no Asian, nothing. None of that craziness. No European players, North American players playing on North American soil. Emperor Trump would be proud. But of course, you got to give a shout out to Ricky Ortiz for an incredible performance throughout the entire competition. But it all came down to NuckleDu. NuckleDu basically played the game of his life, and Ricky Ortiz just could not quite figure out how to stop him, and that is why NuckleDu is your Capcom Cup champion. So congratulations. I'm really looking forward to seeing next season of Capcom Cup. And also, special shout out to my main man, Nick Allen, who I spotted on the stage giving away that check. That was pretty cool. But of course, once again, huge congratulations to NuckleDu. You deserved it, buddy. And then finally, I think the thing that caught everyone off guard was Optic Gaming winning E-League Season 2. What? Optic Gaming won a Counter-Strike Go big event. Like, this wasn't necessarily a major, but let's be honest here. When you're basically showing your broadcast on TBS and it's watched by hundreds of thousands of people, you can kind of sort of say that this event was a big deal. And boy, was it a matchup. I mean, this one went down all the way to the end. It was 2-1 in favor of Optic Gaming, and I just cannot believe it. Optic Gaming, a North American team, and granted, they do have some European players in there, but their core is North American, and I give all the credit in the world to Hex, the owner of Optic Gaming, for going after teams who he felt he could build rather than going after a squad that was already established. And not to take anything away from organizations that pick up those kinds of teams, because hey, you want to win championships, you got to appease your sponsors. I'm totally for that, and I respect it. But I think it really speaks to the character of Hex for not going after a squad that was going to be available because they left their organization and was like a top 8 or top 4 team. He went after a squad that needed significant building. Now, of course, let's see how this squad continues to progress throughout the year, or I should say throughout 2017. It's going to be very awesome. I'm super excited. Congratulations to Optic Gaming. Now, of course, it all comes down to the E-League Major in Atlanta, which is going to be coming out pretty soon. So let's see if Optic Gaming can keep their good times rolling, or will they just fall back into the shadows? We'll find out, but it's been an awesome time and a great way to cap out 2016 for CSGO. And then finally in esports news, Rocket League Championship Series Season 2 has concluded. And while I wish I could have been in Amsterdam with my homies, You know what? I enjoyed it every bit at home. It was great. It was so great seeing the matches. And a huge shout out to Flipside Tactics. They are the RLCS Season 2 champions, and they join iBuyPower Cosmic, who won Season 1. And I think it's only fitting that the two most long-standing teams in competitive Rocket League hold championships for the RLCS. I remember watching the MLG Pro League Rocket League events that the MLG and Puckett and Benson used to put together way back when. And I remember seeing Flipside and Cosmic battling it out there. So it's cool to see them being able to hoist a trophy like that, be the champions of their esport, and it's incredible. So again, congratulations to those guys. Super well deserved. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the RLCS is going to cook up in Season 3, because I think the RLCS has been one of the best, I guess you could say best formatted events, but also Rocket League has been one of the best esports to watch in 2016. And that is going to lead me into my next topic. The VGAs have concluded, and while it was awesome to watch, there's one particular category that I want to talk about, and that is Esports Game of the Year. Now, the nominees were Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, League of Legends, Overwatch, and Street Fighter V, just to name a few. Now, here's the thing. I support what the VGAs are trying to accomplish here. I would have liked it to have been best new esports game of 2016, so that this way more games can get some recognition. Overwatch ended up coming out on top. I still think that I would have liked to have seen something fresh in there. I love Overwatch. I'm an Overwatch caster, and I'm very excited for the future of competitive Overwatch, especially with the Overwatch League right around the corner. I will be hard pressed to say that Overwatch at this point in time has consistent structure across the board, whereas games like Rocket League and Street Fighter V, hell, even League of Legends and Dota have consistent structure across the board. Talk about Hearthstone, you could talk about Smite, you could talk about, I don't know, anything really in that category. And there's a lot of games that just kind of make sense. Heck, you can even put Vainglory in there as well, which just had their World Championship this weekend. I am so happy that Overwatch won Esports Game of the Year, because it's going to let people know that Overwatch is legitimate if it was able to beat out contenders such as League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike, and Street Fighter V. But also I want to take a step back here, because I do kind of feel bad for Street Fighter V. This was also a new game with structure, and it did not win. You know, I mean, if you're part of the FGC, I'm sure you aren't really paying attention to the Video Game Awards anyway. It's one of those things that you have to think about. I personally would like to see a category for best new esports title in 2017 or whatever, rather than just a blanket best esports game 2016. Maybe that can help shed some light on newer titles. Maybe even give games like Gears of War a fighting chance as well, because their structure is looking pretty awesome too. With that said, congratulations to Overwatch. Super stoked for them that they won. Blizzard deserved that. They have put together a great game, and while the game does have some issues, like any video game does, I think it is a fantastic game, and I'm so pumped for the future of competitive Overwatch. Overwatch League, people, it's going to be dope. I can't wait. And while we sunset the VGAs, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the PlayStation Experience, which took place at the Anaheim Convention Center. And might I add, a lot of events take place at that convention center. It's a pretty poppin' place. I dig it. We had some awesome events take place there as well. We had the PlayStation keynote. We also had the PlayStation Experience Invitational, which saw 8 Call of Duty teams battle it out for $20,000. Of course, key names such as Optic Gaming and Envy weren't there, but congratulations to FaZe. They are the champions. They won that one. And I saw a good question on the COD competitive Reddit. People said, is this considered, an event win for FaZe? I know a lot of FaZe fans feel like this was an event win, but there's a lot of dispute about Totino's and whether that was a legitimate competition or not. And listen, because your boy was casting, it was, and there's no dispute about that. At the PlayStation Experience, we got to see the reveal of Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. That's right, folks. MVC's coming back. When's Marvel? 2017. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And some key takeaways from the trailer is that the game will be 2v2 rather than an MVC 3, which was 3v3. It will also be a more tailored MCU game rather than featuring all the comic book characters. You can see in the extended trailer, which I would put in the description down below, that Captain America makes an appearance along with Morgan. Morgan from Darkstalkers, in case you guys aren't aware. Captain America looks pretty good. He also happens to look like his MCU counterpart in Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America First Avenger, Captain America Civil War. Basically, he looks like your boy Chris Evans. I'm digging it. I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that they went 2v2 for the format. I was saying this on Twitter the other day. Marvel vs. Capcom, as great of a concept it is, it's just so confusing to watch. And I'm glad that at least in some capacity, they dialed it back a little bit. Maybe Capcom noticed that it just wasn't the right way to, I guess, grip people into competitive gaming by just having all these flashing lasers and things all over the place. We'll see how all this unfolds when the game releases 2017. I'll keep an eye out for it. Some of the characters that they had mentioned in the trailer was Captain Marvel, Captain America, Mega Man, Ryu. I believe you also saw Iron Man, and I want to say one more guy, but for some reason it's just, and Morgan. I can't believe I missed Morgan. Anyway, awesome stuff. Super happy to see that as well. Overall, today was a great day, right? And it's a great Monday for video game fans everywhere, because not only did you have some awesome esports events, but you also had some sick game reveals too. Can we just take a moment to appreciate The Last of Us 2? Seriously, I lost my mind. I thought that was awesome. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. You can expect videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the platform of your choice. That's right, folks. We're going to Twitch. We're going to YouTube. We're going to Facebook. You're going to find all the uploads there for the Golden Nugget and more. I'm going to close this out with a question to you guys, the viewers. Who do you want to see in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? And what do you think of the game? Sound off in the comment section down below. Tweet me, Facebook me. I don't even know if there's a proper term for that. I'm still getting used to Facebook. It's a little confusing. But anyway, I want to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the other side.